I'm going to show you how to make peanut butter and jelly sushi. My boys love this. This is actually a really fun way of doing an alternative to a regular peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and it's really easy and it's a lot of fun. For this bento, you're going to need either peanut butter or sun butter, depending upon if you have an allergy in the class or at your school. It doesn't allow peanut butter. You're going to need slices of bread. You're going to need a rolling pin. I do not own a rolling pin. One of those things I always mean to get, but I never do. A glass will work just as well. Some jam or honey, which I'm actually going to probably do one of each. And a vegetable. Today's vegetable is going to be lettuce. I'm going to do grapes, and the boys are going to have a treat. These are actually homemade marshmallows that their granny made them. Zarek has been a little jealous because a lot of kids in his class have treats in their lunches, which it's really early in the school year, so I suspect it might be just moms kind of cheering up their kindergartners going to school, or, you know, spoiling them a little. So I wanted to give them a treat, so they're going to have homemade marshmallows. Now you may notice I'm not doing the skewers with the grapes this time. Just so you know, it's actually good for your kids to pull the grapes off the vine. It's actually good for fine motor skills, and that's something that I always try to find little things for Zane to work on his fine motor skills. So that's everything you'll need for this bento. You're going to take your bread and your rolling pin, or like me, a glass, and you're just going to flatten your bread out, and you're going to cut the edges off. You're going to have a nice square piece of bread. So you're going to do a layer of either peanut butter or sun butter. And then a layer of jam. Now I have found that you want to do a really thin layer. It actually is better if you layer it the wrong way instead of doing it to peanut butter to jam. And then you're just going to start rolling, and I promise you this is going to be a little messy. You're just going to roll it. You might have to keep pressing the bread because it will want to break apart a little bit. And so there's your first roll. And just keep kind of pressing it together. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take a sharp knife, and you're just going to cut it down like this. Now, have you ever made cookies like this? You can actually make cookies like this. This is how you make those spiral cookies. And so there we have our peanut butter and jelly sushi. Now you just start placing it in here. Nice and neat. Now you'll notice that the ends won't look as neat unless you do the cut. You want the cut end showing. It'll look neater. Okay. And I would actually do extra spirals so that you can actually stack them up on each other in here. So I did a second batch of the peanut butter sushi for Zane. So this is how his lunch turned out. And then I was going to show you Zarek's. Zarek's lunch is a lot different than Zane's. I used a regular bento box. These I get from like the dollar spot at Target. And this one's more traditional in the sense that it packs tight. You can see it's actually pressing down on the bread. And so nothing will move. And I did this because Zarek hasn't been eating all of his food. He's been saying he's had too much food. So I'm putting less food in his. And so I felt like everything would be joggling around if I sent it in this kind of box. So I'm going to switch him over to this kind of box and see how he does eating his whole lunch. So there's Zarek's. And then there's Zane's. And just so you know, Zarek did not like the sun butter. So you definitely need to try it out with your kids and see if they'll enjoy it or not. I'm having some ricotta, cottage cheese, a little bit of sweetener, and cinnamon for dessert. It's kind of fun, kind of creamy dessert. It's really high protein. So since there's a lot of protein in